What's going on, guys? It's Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Hasbro The Black Series Darth Maul and Sith Speeder from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now, this is Hasbro's triumphant return to vehicles in the Black Series line. They haven't done vehicles in a few years now, and this is the kind of testing of the waters, if you will, for vehicles in the Black Series. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2024. It was available at the convention for people to pick up physically, and then it also went up on Hasbro Pulse after the fact. I did order several of these from Hasbro Pulse, and they all came in extremely quickly. Hasbro Pulse has been, in my opinion, stepping up their game a little bit when it comes to in-stock drops, and I've actually been really happy with their service lately. So checking out this release here, this is actually done in a special kind of packaging, so I'm not sure if this is what you should expect from vehicles going forward. This is actually retrofitted packaging, so this is to mock the 12-inch scale Darth Maul with Sith Speeder that came out a long time ago, way back in 1999, and the packaging, obviously, if you know the Episode 1 packaging, it had Darth Maul there next to the logo. I think they've done a great job emulating. I have a whole area of my collection room that is dedicated to original releases from this toy line, and I think they've done a really good job emulating that. So obviously, you can see up here on the top right corner, you have the logo for the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. You have the Hasbro logo below that, and then over here you have the big plastic window showing you the figure, the vehicle, all the accessories it comes with. Down here on the bottom left, you have, again, like I mentioned, that very nice Episode 1 logo from that toy line, and then even the same kind of product with the font down here. On this side of the packaging here, you have, again, the Episode 1 logo, a screenshot from the movie, as well as the Sith Speeder here. Tells you what it comes with. It comes with an entertainment-inspired vehicle. Oh, entertainment inspired. You can't just say it's from the movie. You have to say entertainment inspired. And then you also have the articulated figure here. On the back, we have, again, just another screen grab of Maul in the actual vehicle, and we have a little bio here. This bio reads, "A deadly, agile Sith Lord, sinister Darth Maul is a formidable warrior and scheming mastermind. He wields an intimidating double-bladed lightsaber and the power of the dark side. Ordered by Darth Sidious to destroy Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the deadly Darth Maul uses his crescent-shaped repulsor lift vehicle, the Sith Speeder, to carry out his mission on Tatooine." And then down here you have some even more information about the vehicle itself. The Sith Speeder does not use weapons, shields, or sensors. Instead, it achieves hawk-like speed and incredible maneuverability with its potent repulsor lift engine. This one-person craft is Maul's preferred mode of transportation. I think that's great. I really do miss the amount of information that they gave you about the characters and about the vehicles and things on the older packaging, and that's something that I wish they would do a little bit more on the newer releases. And then on this side here, you kind of have just kind of the same stuff we saw on the other side of the packaging. Up top, you do have, again, a little bit more of a plastic window here to let that light in, as well as the name of the vehicle and the Episode 1, and they even give you some more packaging details on the bottom. But yeah, guys, with that, I'm really excited to get this thing open again. Big return to Black Series vehicles here, and this is the first prequel vehicle we've ever seen in the line, so let's get this thing opened. Alright, now that we've got the set out of the box, let's first check out the accessories before we get into the main course of this release. We have Maul's double-bladed lightsaber. It does come broken in half, however, I'll show you in a second there is a way to connect it. It's got a nice little gunmetal gray mold here, kind of silverish, and then it also has some red paint applications as well as some black on this one side here, and you get some nice red translucent blades. Obviously, you can connect these together. If you look, there is kind of a half circle shaped peg and then a half circle shaped peg hole. So there is a right or wrong way to put these together. Usually I just spin them around until I find the way it fits. These fit together really snugly, so you're not going to have too much problems with it, separating once it's together, and it looks pretty good together. The blades, as with most lightsabers in the Black Series, do come out. They are ridged on the end there, so they are going to be a little bit more difficult to pull out than some other lightsabers in the Black Series, at least from my experience. I'm kind of having some difficulty getting these out. This one was extremely difficult for me to get out, but you can see this is what the lightsaber is going to look like once you get it all disconnected from the blades, and that's what your lightsaber blade is going to look like there. So again, very nice prop. And then you also have a peg here which can plug into Darth Maul's belt. I will show you that later. A newly sculpted accessory that Darth Maul comes with in this instance is his Sith binoculars here. These actually have a surprising amount of paint detail on them. They're done in that same kind of gunmetal gray color. You'll see there are some darker gray paint applications for the grips here, and you do have some paint applications for the red and black buttons on this side. So again, something that I usually wouldn't expect Hasbro to put any paint detail into, they went ahead and did so, and this looks like a great accessory. And then of course we'll go with Darth Maul's companion here. This is one of the seeker droids that Darth Maul employs to go look for Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. This does come off the flight stand very easily. This is a clear flight stand. There's just a little ball peg there for that. And this is the droid here. You'll see there are no paint applications on the droid whatsoever, which kind of a bummer. You know, they could have done the reds a little bit for the eyes, the photoreceptors, but I still think the sculpt work on this is amazing. This antenna on top here is extremely flimsy, so you're not going to be having many problems with it breaking if it falls. You know, it just might be a little warped out of the package, but I think mine looks really good. And again, this is a great accessory straight from the movie. Awesome choice. And here's Darth Maul, but he comes out of the box mounted on the speeder. So for now, let's get Darth Maul off and we'll check out the Sith speeder, aka the Blood Fin. Comes on a little bit more of a translucent flight stand here. This probably does come out as well with a ball joint. It's got some really nice paint detail here. This looks nice. I really like the texture they went with for the plastic, for all the leather, for the seating here. I love the shape of this thing too. You can see they've done some nice little paint applications back for the repulsor lift, and you can even see that they've done all types of weathering for the kind of grime and wear and tear that this thing has experienced. They even went as far as, this might actually, is this a sticker or this might actually just be paint applications? What they've gone with here is this little control panel at the front. I think these look great, and I actually think that they're paint applications and not stickers. And they've, as you can see, painted the grips black here, and they've even painted the little parts where the feet go. I think that's awesome. They've painted the little stands where the feet are. That's great. Awesome, awesome detail, and they definitely didn't skimp out. And you can see there is also a little articulation here. You get a little hinge for where the handlebars will go, so that's cool too. But again, very, very nice vehicle. I think they've done a great job, and this is a great choice for a small vehicle to bring into the Black Series line. And now here is Darth Maul. Now this is a very exciting release because this is the first time that we've been able to get our hands on the newly sculpted head-to-toe Darth Maul that the Black Series team has done. Darth Maul first came out, I want to say in 2013 or 2014 for the Black Series, and he has not been re-released since then on a new body sculpt, at least not in his Phantom Menace appearance. So to now have an option for a newly tooled, newly sculpted Darth Maul is just amazing, and you can just see from the detail right out the gate, the face looks fantastic. They've really nailed the paint applications for the horns here. You can see that the face tattoos look fantastic. They're not warped or off-centered or anything like that, and you can see they even got him a nice expression there, a nice angry, mean mugging expression. This guy's face looks awesome. One thing that's new with this guy is actually they gave him the little control panel on his wrist. He does use this on Tatooine in the Phantom Menace, and I do believe that the other versions of the Darth Maul figure coming out later this year do not come with this. Aside from the really nice sculpt work though, this guy doesn't really come with much. He's just a lot of sculpted black plastic really. So he's got this soft goods piece here. I really like what they've done with almost like, not the pleated look here, but you know, kind of the ribbed look here for this fabric, and I'm really happy with the way that it turned out, and I like how the sleeves are too. It's nice and open, and with a character like Darth Maul, he's a very, very acrobatic character, so you're going to want flexibility with the soft goods, and I seem to be getting that from this release. He does have a hood. I wonder if the hood can go up too. That's actually really cool. The hood can go up, and the way that the stitching is done, you can get it to lay so that it fits very, very nicely. And there he is with his hood up. Looks fantastic. And again, it lays very, very naturally, very, very nicely. Hasbro's really been stepping it up recently when it comes to their soft goods game. So if we want to get this off, however, I'd assume you just kind of pull it up over the figure here. And also the little bracer does come off there. So you have to make Maul reach his arms up for uppies, and then you'll be able to pull this off here. And it comes off very, very easily. Which leaves us down here with even more soft goods goodness. You have a bunch of different, straps here. And this is, honestly, this is done. I know some of the other Darth Maul releases might not come with this. Soft goods here on the lower skirt piece. However, that's just because obviously we want to have the ability to sit this guy comfortably on the speeder. So you're going to have to give him some soft goods on that lower skirt in order for him to be able to sit. But again, you can just kind of see there's not much paint going on here at all. It's just the robes. And I think they've done a great job at sculpting them. The belt is a loose overlay piece to connect all of the soft goods to the rest of the figure, and I think that they've done a good job emulating that. And honestly, I'm really, really happy with the way this figure looks. Let's see how he articulates. So starting off at the head, you're going to have a double ball jointed neck, and that goes in a nice full circular motion. He can look down a solid amount, and he can look up a good amount as well. He can get some tilt out of that too, and he can even get some good turn motion there. He does have some butterfly joints, which are underneath the rubbery overlay of the outer tunic. The butterfly joints are going to get some really, really nice range there. You can see just how exaggerated that movement is. And then he does have a hinge joint at the shoulder, ball and hinge. That's going to get you up to about 90 degrees, and then also it can swivel a full 360 degrees. He does have deep cut single jointed elbows, which are on a hinge. They get you more than 90 degrees as far as the articulation there goes, and there is a swivel there as well. He does have an extra swivel too at the bottom of the glove here. It would appear Darth Maul has ball jointed wrists. That's pretty awesome, and they've got some really nice range to them as well. He's got a ball joint at the midsection here, which is going to get you some really nice range. It might move this little belt piece around a little bit, but that's why it's free floating, so that you can move it around later. Maul does feature a ball joint at the hips, which is going to give you some really, really great range. A cut for a thigh swivel here mid-thigh, and he does have deep cut single jointed knees, which will get you above the 90-degree mark, and they do swivel as well. Maul does also have a boot swivel at the top of the boot. It's not going to get you much motion because of the way that the pants are sculpted, but it's still a nice option to include. And then down at the ankle here, he does have a forward-facing pin for rocker, as well as a hinge that goes forward, gives you some good range, and goes back and gives you some good range. Overall, this guy is an amazing figure. I really want to pose him up with his lightsaber and see what kind of poses I can get here. Also, just look at that sculpting on the boots. That just looks amazing. Even though he doesn't have many paint details, the sculpting of the figure looks fantastic. So real quick, before I assemble the blades to the lightsaber, he does have a peg hole here on the right side of the belt, and you'll just attach the lightsaber hilt to it, and it'll fit very firmly there. It'll pass the shake test, so you can move your Maul around. If you decide for some reason you want to have the hilt attached to the belt, you can have it done that way. Let's use his binoculars here. I wonder if he can actually hold the binoculars up to his eyes. Oh, wow. This just goes to show how far the Black Series has come. I know for a fact the old Darth Maul figure would have never been able to do something like this. You can even toy around with how you want the elbows to be, but look at that. There he is, looking down the scopes. Darth Maul's looking out the scopes, scoping out some potential Jedi targets to eliminate, so that's a great pose. I like that you can actually use the accessory in that way. Now, obviously, with this new Darth Maul figure, we're going to want to get the lightsaber blades attached to the hilt so that we can get this guy in some action poses here. All right, now that we've got the lightsaber all assembled once again, let's get it in the hand. It's going to fit very nicely in the hand. It's going to pass the shake test. It's a very firm grip. Obviously, the first pose we want to do is to get Maul into the classic ready stance from the fight, the duel of the fates. So here he is in that pose there. This is going to look absolutely fantastic. Straight out of the movie. This is already great. One of my favorite moments from Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace is when he's kind of stalking Qui-Gon when the ray shields are all closing and opening and Obi-Wan gets separated from him. You can see I've got one foot kind of raised up here. You can see the center of gravity on this figure is just fantastic. I'm able to very easily just pose this figure up with that toe up off the ground, and there you go. I'm able to achieve that very nice pose there, and he's again just kind of stalking Qui-Gon here. I love this. With this articulation, you can very easily achieve some very wide stances with Maul, and again also hold his lightsaber in two hands with great ease. You can also achieve some one-legged poses very easily. Again, this is 2024 articulation for the Black Series. This is such a huge step up from the 2013 release, and this is a good one for, Maul kind of lunging at you. Very stable pose. As you can see, I can move him around and he's not going to fall over. A great pose for the shelf. Now, obviously, we want to pose him up on the speeder here. I mean, we all saw how he was was posed up sitting right out of the box, so I'm not going to really waste my time doing all that. We're going to get creative with this, see if we can do some fun stuff here. Here's a cool one right here. He's kind of standing up on the speeder, and you can see he's got his one hand on the handlebar, and these soft goods are nice. You can kind of flare them back like he's actually moving in the wind, and then you can see he's got his lightsaber in hand. This is a really nice pose, and I think this actually might be one for the shelf here with just how cool it looks. And you can see here too that the soft goods on him look incredible as well. You can get those to kind of flow and move around very, very naturally, so you're going to have a lot more dynamic when you're posing this guy with the soft goods in mind. And just for comparison's sake here is the old Darth Maul on the left. This is specifically the archive release of Darth Maul, and the new Darth Maul on the right. They are right in scale with each other. Obviously, this older one's very, very clunky, not one of the best Black Series figures ever made, and the new one really, in my opinion, whether it's just attention to detail on the paint applications, the detail on the articulation, the sculpting, the soft goods, everything on this new one beats out the old one, and you absolutely should get your hands on this new figure here. And that's going to conclude my review of this set. This is really one of those that I think you need for your collection, especially if you're a big prequel guy, a big Darth Maul fan, if you really enjoy the Phantom Menace. This is a release you need in your collection. This one is just awesome, and I'm very, very happy to add it to the collection. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time, all different kinds of stuff for anything you're interested in. You should check out my social media. That's going to be linked in the description below as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.